Okay, so it's Brian and Jeff, and we are pairing on website 1. We are working on Jeff's pull request from about 2 months ago, and Brian's going to help me hopefully figure out a couple of things. There's 2 parts to this pull request. One of them involves updating the logic so that we get the correct number of commits from GitHub. And then the second part is refactoring some of this code back into one of the lib directories. So it might be a 2-part thing. But okay, I'll go ahead and share my screen here. Okay. Oops, let me get out of there. All right. Okay, Brian, so it's been a while since I've looked at this too. I was kind of playing catch up here. So you and we did discuss this, and I think we found a solution, we thought. And after we had paired, I went back to go ahead and implement that and found that there was still an inconsistency in what GitHub was reporting and what we're seeing. So just kind of what the actual feature looks like. I'm running this locally, and after I do a rake task, it will go out to GitHub, and then it will pull down this number right here. And that, from what I understand, is supposed to correspond with what's here. And so there's a discrepancy of about 30. I emailed GitHub about this a while ago just to ask them if there was anything we were missing, and I haven't looked at this for a while, but this is basically what they came back with. And unfortunately, this is the actual HTTP request, when we are using the OctaKit API wrapper. But one thing that I'm thinking that we might have forgotten, or I forgot, was this idea of pages and the pagination. I'm thinking that because we're off only by like 30, and it would make sense that if we only got, I think, 30 per page or something. I'm assuming that the ones at the top are going to have the most commits, and the ones at the bottom are going to have the least commits. And so for whatever reason, maybe we're cutting off multiple pages of results, and so that's where we're missing that small number. I don't know. I was going to see here. So does that all make sense?
Sorry, you were breaking up at parts.
Okay, sorry.
Can you repeat that? I think I lost you at somewhere where you emailed GitHub.
Okay, all right. Let me show you what I emailed GitHub just to ask them. And what I got back was this. And so a couple of things. We were using the contributors. So the code that we were actually using was this. Let's see where we're at. We are authenticate. So once you authenticate, you get an authenticated object, which is this client. So it's basically contributor stats repo. And so let's see, what was it? Yeah, so contributor stats. And I just ran this. Let's see. Let me do this again. So this would be the rake. Okay, and then just to confirm, let's see. So 2930, yeah. Okay, so and this is off by like 30. So I don't that's about where I'm at as far as remembering what we worked on. I guess my next kind of stab at this, or what I was kind of looking at, was maybe if you look at what they sent here, there's this per page argument here in the query, and they're doing 100 per page, and I think by default it's 30. Yeah, so you get 30 items per page default. Now he's doing 100, and he said that this was basically returning what we were seeing on the GitHub page. So anyway, I guess where I was gonna go with this was to see if we could somehow find a parameter or something for the pagination for the OctaKit gem. And this is kind of where I keep getting stuck. So.
Right. Does it have to go through the OctaKit gem? I think it might be that the OctaKit gem is a bit outdated.
I mean, that's a good question. I don't know why we have to use it. Let's see, when was it? OctaKit. I mean, it is there. Apparently, it's 2 months ago. This is GitHub's official endorsement for their API wrapper, but I don't know if we necessarily. I mean, for what we're doing, it's pretty easy, so I'm not sure we even need this wrapper.
That's true.
But at this point, I feel like I've attempted so many different ways that I don't even really know which is the right way to go forward. So I'm open for any kind of suggestions or.
I can't remember, but I seem to recall there was exactly one API endpoint that we found that could get us the contributor stats directly. What was it? I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah, I do remember that, Brian. Let's see if No, I do remember that. I wonder if I saved that. I think it was this one right here. This in Slack for you.
Yeah, it might be that.
I believe that's the one that you came up with. And I don't remember what the deal was. Weeks.
Author. Have you tried? Hold on, let me paste another one. Slack. That's another one I found in my history.
Okay. Yeah, okay, now I'm actually seeing contributors here, or contributions anyway. Okay, so if I can just playing around with this JQ thing, see if I can. I've never used this, so we'll see.
All right, I've never heard of JQ either.
Yeah, this was something that GitHub was using. It's basically just a way to use awk and stuff to parse JSON. But let's see what they've got. They've got. Oh, can you hear me? Oh no, here's a filter, I guess is where I need to put it. Oh, so maybe they're only, okay. I can't probably use awk in here then. I don't know. So, okay, so I guess the thing is we take, Website 1 contributors. Okay, if we take that and go back. So Brian, you know, you're saying here with this endpoint, are you thinking that maybe we just don't use the OctoKit?
I was thinking if AutoKit supports that endpoint, it would be better.
Okay.
But I'm not sure it does.
Okay, so
The document, or maybe it does, but the documentation isn't great. Let me. Contributor.
okay, well I think I did find it. Let's see.
Maybe it does. Hold on. Slack again.
Okay.
Just looking at their spec file, looks like they do have support for the contributors endpoint. If you try, that might work. It's like octokit.contributors user slash.
That's the project.
I guess.
True. Okay. Contributors. Let's see. Trying to think where we were at. So.
Hello.
Yep, Brian. Still here. Brian.
Jeff.
Brian.
Sorry, I think I lost you for a moment there.
Okay.
Did you say something?
Nope. I just was making sure you could hear me. So okay. So OctoKit dot.
Do you think you should try that on the console?
Yeah. Let me. Here. I'm gonna put my headphones in real quick, just so maybe the audio will be a little better. Ryan.
It might just be my internet today.
Okay, Brian, you hear me okay?
Yep,
Brian?
I hear you.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's see. So basically dot contributors username project. I feel like that's being used somewhere in here. Contrib. Okay, so yes, if I remember correctly, this contribs is actually alias to contributors.
Oh, right.
Which maybe I should change that just because it is kind of confusing. Let's see. Contributors. Okay, so that, let me just make sure that's still working. Okay, so yeah, so that's still working. Okay, and I noticed here I have the true in there, which I was playing around with, and they've got that there.
Cool.
So anon.1. I wonder. I forget exactly what the true does. It's oh, okay. If I remember this correctly, Brian, it's true. This Boolean is apparently there can be commits uh, on a Git project where people don't have a GitHub account or something like that.
Hmm.
And so
Okay.
the true is including those people that made commits that don't have a GitHub account, or
Right.
at least the email doesn't match a GitHub account anyway. Um,
Okay.
so I think we would want to have true there. I
Yep.
think most everyone at Agile Ventures has a GitHub account probably, but just in case, maybe they were using a different machine and they used something that was configured for a different email address or something. All right, so
Yeah.
okay, so that all looks good. Repo commits. So let's see. So then I guess from here what we're doing is we're basically, yeah, then this is where the logic is to go and add up everything.
Hmm. Okay.
So I guess, okay, I
Yeah.
just ran the rake task and 2930, and yeah, so still that difference of 30.
Hmm. I wonder where that difference is coming from.
Well, the only thing that I can think of is that it goes back to that pagination. Um, and I don't see an option or a parameter to set that. The pagination here, because when you're like, if you go back to what that guy was talking about, uh,
With pagination.
just a second. Okay, so yeah, so he's,
Hello, Jeff.
yep, Brian.
Oh, okay,
Brian.
cool.
Yeah,
I
sorry,
hear you.
my phone was ringing, and I've got it hooked up to my computer. Okay, so I don't know. This is my kind of hypothesis is that somehow we are only, because right here he's saying that you get 30 items per page by default,
Okay.
but here in this HTTP request, he specifies 100 pages at a time, right? I guess I should say 100 items
Right.
per page, and so what I'm thinking is
Uh-huh.
maybe we are missing, we aren't getting all the pages, and that's why we aren't
Yeah.
seeing those people. So somehow we need to change the default from 30 items per page to more than that. But I don't see how you could do it in OctoKit here. I guess maybe I could do pagination in OctoKit.
Are you there?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Brian? Hmm. I can hear you just fine. I don't know what's going on.
No, I don't think it's your side. It's definitely
Oh,
my
okay.
side.
Okay.
The internet's not great, so you have to be patient with me.
Okay. No worries. No worries.
Um.
OctoKit. Well,
Okay.
OctoKit auto
Yeah.
pagination.
Go on. Yeah. How are we gonna deal with pagination?
Okay. Hmm. Okay. So it says. When this is enabled, calls for paginated resources will fetch and concatenate the results from every page into a single array. So I guess we basically want to set this OctoKit auto paginate equals true. Um, where do I put this at? Let's see. don't know where we put that. Whoops. So basically, we need a place for this, and I don't know. Ryan, you still there? Well, it's closer. All right, Brian, I'm not sure if you can hear me. I see that you're still there, so I'll just kind of keep moving forward. Okay, no problem.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, Brian.
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool.
So I'm not sure how much of that you caught. What I did was put this in here, this octokit.auto paginate true. I reran the rake file, and it did increment from 2930 to 2937. However, it's still not equal to that.
Right.
So
Um,
I think, let's see. Yeah.
we're getting a bit closer.
Now, I wonder, in this sort of situation, we're basically, okay, so we're instantiating a client object because this is an authenticated client. Now, I'm wondering,
Uh,
in here, it's like you're calling the auto paginate class method, right? I wonder, is this something that you would call at the class level, or do you need to actually call auto paginate on this client object?
it's better if you can call paginating on the client object. In fact, have a look at it. Looking for the method inside the repo, and I found it. It looks like there is a third parameter where you can pass paginate options.
Hmm.
So just following Ruby conventions, try just passing in a hash and per page.
Okay, so
You know what I
try.
mean?
Yeah, you cut out a little bit there. You said in Ruby convention passing in a hash. And let's see, so would I pass the hash into here, you mean? Well, Brian, what I'll do is maybe I can, say I can give you access to this. I don't know, if you want to type, I can do a, let me, let me kill this here. Hey, Brian, just because it seems like it's a little, maybe the audio is not working as well, I'm just going to give you read-write access to this here.
Cool, thanks.
So yeah,
I was about to say that my internet's been acting up so badly, I couldn't hear anything.
no worries.
Did that work?
I'm not sure. I was just going to say, you said to pass a hash in somewhere, and I wasn't sure exactly where you were talking about.
It should be just after the after you say true for anonymous contributions. So yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. So let's see if you. Okay, so do this, and then put this all in a hash. You're saying?
yeah. Well, not everything. Just maybe the last parameter can just be per page true. Per page 100. Sorry. You
Okay.
know, just like how Ruby treats.
Yeah. Is it? I forget exactly. Is it like
Oh,
per?
you don't need the angle braces if it's the last parameter.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Um, so it's just per page colon 100 per underscore page. Sorry.
Like that.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. We'll try that here. Let's see if I've got this in my history. So, oh, that's going. Okay. Oh, oh, 2960. Yay! That's
Hey, we got it.
call, man. That's awesome. Holy shit, I would have never figured that out. Okay. Cool. Okay. Awesome. So that's what it was. And I had no idea how to do that. So great. Okay. Um, that's awesome, Brian. Thank you.
No
So
worries.
I think that basically is it. Now, I haven't looked at the GitHub requests or the pull requests for a while, but I know there were some.
The pull request.
Yeah, I looked at the pull request. There was some feedback in there, um, so I can look at that again real quick. How are you doing on time? Do you want to maybe save this part two for another day, or? Okay, cool. I'm not sure if you can hear me, Brian, but Okay, so Brian, here was the other thing. You said that there is a method in the project model which pulls out the repository name. It would also be a good idea to move the function to the GitHub owner into the model, and that would come in handy. So I think what you were let's see here. Let's run. Is this? I think this is what you're talking about. No.
Jeff, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Can you? I'm sorry, I didn't catch anything of what you said. Can you
No
put
worries,
that
no
on
worries.
chat instead?
Yeah, I'll put it on chat.
Cool, thanks. Sorry about this.
No worries. Let's see.
Not really a good way to pair.
Okay, so let's see. All right, so oh shoot. Let me see here. This. Okay. Okay, so move the function to the GitHub owner or the GitHub.
Oh yeah, where you're doing the match, the regular expressions to get the owner and the repo name.
Yep,
I
yes,
thought it might be a
exactly.
good idea to have it inside the project model.
Okay, yep. Let's see here. Oh, Brian, I'll just say, just so if people are watching this, I wasn't sure how to start with that refactoring. I did. Let's see here. Let's see. So,
Right.
is it models? What did you want to do? Move this into the project model. Okay. So project model.
Yeah, just to repeat what I said. Let me see if I can do something about this connection. Then I'll try and drive.
Okay.
If I get anywhere, or not, I'll just try and drive. Just give me a second.
Okay, no worries.
Hello?
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, didn't really get anywhere. I just hope it gets better.
Okay, no
Um,
worries.
okay, right.
Hey, hey,
Uh,
hey, Brian. Real quick,
yeah.
last time, remind me again, because when I use when I use Tmux, I have all my bindings set, but when I use Tmate, which I'm doing now, I lose all my bindings. So, what is the command to switch from Windows in regular Tmate? Do you know? I know.
Uh, I
I
think
know.
it's Control B, arrow up, down. Is it?
Let's see.
Is that what you're looking for?
Well, I'm trying to go between these two windows here. Like,
Oh, the Vim windows.
yeah, or I get,
Oh,
yeah, you're right, it is Vim, it is Vim, but I'm losing all my, for some reason I lose my Vim bindings when I use Teammate, so. What,
that's weird.
I know it is. What do you, I forget, what is it to switch windows in Vim again?
Control W.
Ah, yeah, okay. Control.
Does that work?
Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
Control W and then the arrow.
Yeah.
Control. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Thanks. I forgot about that. Okay. So yeah, feel free to drive. I think this is what you're talking about. Me. Oh shit. You still there?
Yeah.
What did I do? I guess you know what. Luckily, I sent that teammate session to you. I think I detached from that teammate session. So 1 second.
Okay. Huh.
Should still be there.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right, so
Cool.
yeah, go for it because I guess at this point I'm not really sure. I know down here there was some GitHub stuff. Anyway, I wasn't sure exactly how to proceed, so I'll just follow you.
Okay. Do you mind if I drive? Am I driving?
Yes, please drive. Please drive.
Um, hello.
Yep, go ahead, Brian.
Sorry, I think my internet momentarily disconnected there. Even if I wanted to drive, it wasn't doing anything. Okay. What I had in mind is, right, you know where, oh, yes. Uh, this is so slow. I can feel the lag. Um, right, where you're doing the match project GitHub URL. What I was thinking is all we need to do here is, um, don't worry, I'll try and survive a little bit longer. It shouldn't be long.
Okay.
Um, so what I want to do is say I want to do something like project username, or
Okay. Yeah.
maybe GitHub repo on. I'm not sure if what I type actually completed.
Hmm. I see
Oh,
project.github underscore repo underscore username. And it's
cool.
okay.
Yeah, that's
So
what I
Brian,
wanted.
are you
Didn't get any
saying?
feedback for a while.
Oh, I just had a question. So I didn't know if you. I have some regex up there. I forget the absolute line number, but it's basically repo name equals
Yeah,
match
yeah.
and username. Those what you're going to put into the project model?
Yeah,
Okay,
basically.
got it.
That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Oh wait, there is a GitHub repo here.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I see that. Yeah. on line 46. Yeah.
GitHub repo. Okay, let's just use GitHub repo. Cool. Consistent GitHub repo user name. Yeah. So I really just want to define a method here called I don't know why I did that. And I want the regular expression here. Oh, GitHub repo isn't exactly the repo name, is it?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Although you would think that it should be, but yeah, I think that's probably why I did it. I don't remember. This is so long ago.
Yeah. I'm gonna call this one name. Yeah. Now this looks.
Okay.
And just this regular expression. Fine. Cool. Oh, oh no. Like used to line wrapping. Oh. Repo name. Oh, just. And so you don't need to know too much about the repo stuff.
Right, makes sense.
Indicate. Yeah. Yeah, so that's sort of what I was kind of leaning towards, and then we need some tests for that. I guess the last bit of refactoring is to get rid of the name parameters. We can like, I don't know, maybe I can just do it now. Don't need here. Yeah, this looks about right.
Okay.
Cool. So we need some tests around that. Sorry, I don't think I can write the test now because of this internet connection.
Yep, understood.
Yeah, I'm really sorry that the internet's so bad today.
Hey, Brian, don't worry, man. You've been very helpful, so thank you. I can go ahead and try to write the test. Otherwise, we can try to do a pairing session. Hey, one other thing, if you have time, I'm not sure if it's an issue or not, but on the pull request, there was, let me bring up the details real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, it was, let me see if I can get this here. Well, okay, I'm not sure exactly how I can. Oh, yeah, here's the link. Anyway, Christopher Mine, he put a comment on there, and he was concerned that the Git contributor stats. Here, I'll post this in Slack.
All right.
I think you've already got it. He was just wondering if it was, could this loop execute forever if GitHub fails to respond for whatever reason? I mean, I guess it was a good point. I wasn't sure if, is that something we should think about, or did you have a fix for it?
Um, I let's see, because we've changed the way we're getting at the contributor stats. We might not need it anymore. Is that method being called anymore?
I think that's a good question. It's at the bottom of the GitHub's commit job. If you're driving,
GitHub's commit job.
yeah, I think just like go all the way to the bottom. There you go. It's yeah.
Okay.
So authenticate. Yeah, I guess. What is it?
Hold on.
Oh, I do remember what this is, Brian. When you're using the stats API for GitHub, the first request will basically send for a request and cache it, and so you often have to make two requests because it will only pull from a cache copy, and if the cache copy's not there, it's got to recreate it. So I think
okay. Yes, I remember that. Let's see. Are we still using the stats API?
That's a good question.
I think since we're getting contributor stats from another endpoint, we might not need it. And another option is even if we did want to use it, I'd rather have the task just run it once, let GitHub try start processing it, and then let it cache it, but don't create a loop to wait for it. Just print a friendly message, something like GitHub it hasn't cached the results yet or something. You need to run the task again. So have it run through just once, let it fire off all GitHub's necessary processes, and just return a message saying like the job could not complete because GitHub doesn't have this available. Please try again.
Okay.
A few seconds.
Now, what about in the situation where we're running it as like a cron job or a task through Heroku? I mean, it doesn't have the ability to be able to parse those messages, does it, and rerun anything?
I guess not. But if it does run as a cron job, I just have something that investigates the final result, whether or not it's an output. We could have the job just run and then return some kind of result, and then that if we're running it as a rake task, then we'll have another layer of logic just on top of that reads the results and say, oh, we haven't got the full result set yet because GitHub is probably needs time to process it, whatever. If we're running it as a cron job, we can have it read the result set and then say if something's not finished, then just queue itself in 5 minutes again to try and run or something.
Okay. Now I forget on Heroku you don't use cron. You use their own built-in scheduler service. I forget what it is.
I believe so. I'm not sure if we've set that up for website 1 yet. I'm gonna have to look into it, but I don't think we have any cron jobs or scheduled jobs running.
Okay. That's cool. So then the next question is, since we don't have any cron jobs set up on the Heroku, is this just something you want to keep as a manual task for now?
I think the initial story was manual, yeah. There's nothing about automating it, so let's keep it manual, keep it simple. When the time comes that people are starting to notice huge differences, then we'll try and automate it.
Okay, fair enough. So let's see here. And if you have to go, that's fine. I'm a little unclear on how to proceed with this. So this is basically a rake task, right? And how can we output this as a a message if you run the rake task. Is this? I'm not even sure how you'd go about that.
Okay.
Am I thinking about that correctly?
Yeah. Let's see. How is it written now? Let me have a look.
If you
Do you
go
mind if I
to
try a little bit?
yeah, sure. You want me to? Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. You're driving. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, go for it.
I,
I think maybe it's in the lib directory. There is a rake tasks, and then this is called from there. I think I don't know. It's been a while.
okay. Lib.
I might be wrong, but tasks.
Uh,
There we go. Yeah. Okay.
one of these.
Scheduler.rake maybe. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Scheduler.rake. Yeah. So this is so
Okay.
see this is why I was thinking it was called by the scheduler, but
Oh, right. Maybe somebody did set something up. I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
okay.
Um. Cool. Let's see. It's always gonna start with this run update total commit counts for project.
Mm-hmm.
Update user commit counts. Okay. Update total commit counts is now using counts. Do you think that this method could include user commit counts and total commit counts? Oh wait, I suppose you want to ignore anonymous users, don't you? But
Well, I don't know.
okay.
Did, I wasn't sure. I mean, we talked about that like 15 minutes ago, and maybe I don't have an accurate understanding, but I think that Boolean was, whether or not the email address associated
Yeah.
with the GitHub commit was actually, linked to a
Yeah.
GitHub, and so I don't know. That you would know better
No,
than I would.
no, I think you're right. I'm just thinking that now that we are using this method to get the commits, it looks like it fits. It that will do the same thing, if not better, than what is currently being done here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess what some pretty is to find the stuff. Um, we'll do the same thing.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's giving you a lot more information, and the contributor count, the contributions count, can come straight away from the contributors endpoint.
Okay. Yep.
I guess we don't need auto-paginning anymore. I'm just wondering if um, this everything in here can be pretty much copied over into here with a couple of minor adjustments. Because this is essentially going through each contributor, getting
Uh-huh.
their GitHub name. So I suppose what you could do is user.find, right?
Mm-hmm.
Auto testing. And then we can just do. Oh, okay, yes. There's some kind of commit count relationship here. Um, I da, da, da. Does he actually do any update? User. I think he's not updating actually. Find or initialized by. Oh, dot update. Okay, he is updating. Cool. I can
Yeah.
almost see this method being almost exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. Um, uh, Yeah, something like this. You could almost see them being exactly the same. But yeah, I think that's something that's worth investigating.
Okay.
And another thing that I wanted to do actually, I don't know if anybody will have time, but it might be worth trying to upgrade to Rails 4.2 and Ruby 2. Is it 2.0? Yes. No, 2.2.
2.20 is the latest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.20. Why I want to upgrade to Rails 4.2 is because they finally have for background jobs. So there's a
Right. Right. Uh-huh.
module called active jobs, and
Right.
then it could actually just extend from active job, like job,
Okay.
rather than
Yeah.
being something just written up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I
Yeah,
mean I've heard of it. I haven't used Active Job at all, but
I think it's pretty good. You can set it up to work with any kind of backend. I've set it up with Sucker Punch once for another project of mine. I
hmm
think it's pretty handy. It might be worth looking into. Perhaps not for this pull request. It feels like too much work.
right.
But yeah, possibly in the future.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. Yeah, I think back to where are we? Back to this. So the last comment is I think we can update this method. Or in fact, we can just combine the two because one is just calculating the total, one is doing something with each individual commit count.
hmm
Yeah, I think we should do that. And what I was thinking is this method, project with GitHub URL each. So perhaps we can do something like result equals to, I don't know, update GitHub method name, how the job might work.
hmm
So if this was in the case of something that's say a background, if we were in a background job, we maybe want to check something like errors. Uh,
Uh-huh.
right, yeah, hope so. Something like that.
Okay. Gotcha.
If it was just a rate task, and we want to do something like or something.
Okay. Yep.
That's sort of what I was thinking of,
Rails.logger. Okay. Okay.
if that makes sense.
You. Yeah, I'll have to do a
Final,
little research, but at least I've got a
yeah,
direction to go. So.
yeah. The basic idea is that the result that comes out from this method um, is something that can give you information about whether or not the job succeeds. And if then right here at the top level where you're doing the run, you do something with that result. Where if it's an error, you do something like you can on-queue yourself for if you're a background job, or if it's just a rake task, you can just log all the errors, something like that.
Okay. Now, when you use the Rails.logger error thing, will that push that out to the console?
I believe so.
Yes. Okay. So
If
like
you're
if I
running
did
a
a
rake
rake
task, I
task,
think.
that's okay. So does it log it and send it to the terminal too, or does it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I can't remember the behavior, but try it out, or
Okay.
you just use a puts or something.
hmm
Yeah. But the basic idea is if some kind of result that that comes back from the method, and then you have at the top level here in the run, you do something with that result. I guess that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So that, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let me just get rid of this line, or if you want to save it somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just gonna break stuff if you try and run it.
Right.
I'll let you
Okay.
try.
Okay, I got a screenshot of it. That's fine. You can take it out.
Cool.
Okay. Well, cool, Brian. Thanks again for your help. I really appreciate it.
Yep, no worries.
So that refactoring, also write tests for the stuff we moved over to the project model, right?
Mhm.
And then let's see. And then the other thing is that, so tell me again on that loop at the bottom, is that something that
Oh
what are we
yeah.
doing with that again?
If we're gonna combine the two methods where you're updating the user commit counts and the total commit counts together, I don't think we'll actually need this anymore.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's right, because it's going to go more on instead of running a loop, we're basically going to rely on error messages to requeue itself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. Now, these are doing slightly different things, but when we combine them into one method, we're assuming that we're always going to do these two things at once, so there's no reason to have two different methods. Is that what you're saying?
I believe so.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Well, I'll noodle on that for a while.
Cool.
And yeah, I guess we'll do that. So you're, I'll go ahead and let me just go ahead and stop this 1 second here. And stop broadcast.